Good afternoon, everybody. My name's Richard, and today it is Thursday the 17th, and what a week it's been here at Platinum Crypto Academy. I want to just start by just giving a brief rundown on what we're going to be talking about today, because today's is a different sort of video, because historically I always go through what's going on from an economical perspective in the markets and then discuss potential news and impacts and what that can mean on the market. Today I want to be a bit more focused on where am I going to grab some value, what potentially can I add to my portfolio, and how can I not only speculate well, but also build a solid portfolio up over the coming months. We're seeing major shifts in the market, and I wanted to get into that. I also am going to cover some news, as always, but so let's get started. So first of all, why I'm going for this approach on this video today? Well, I don't know if you guys have heard of Grayscale, one of the largest, how can we put it, funds in the crypto space. They're probably one of the longest established funds, and so we keep an eye on them. One thing that they have mentioned recently, I saw mentioned recently in an article, so just yesterday, was that there's a bit of a shift diversifying into altcoins. Now, I picked up this tweet. You can see here that Q3 2019, trailing 12 months. There's a significant percentage change in altcoin holdings potentially. Now, it doesn't go into exactly the individual coins which they're holding and so on, but we can take note that money should be shifting into the altcoin space. Now, I believe now is a good time as market sentiment has taken a shift. We're also seeing from major institutions, like I said, a bit more interest in altcoins. I think it's a good time to have a look at how you can approach that sector. If you're new to the industry, or if you're, long-time seasoned bag holders, well, there's been quite a lot of sentiment into stacking your sats into Bitcoin. We've got the halving going on, and I'm not saying you should stop doing that. But what I'm saying is there may be some great value to be found in alternative places in the market. And I wanted to talk to you a couple of ways that we try and pick out value over here at Platinum. And so the first things first, quite an easy tool to rely on in terms of seeing value. Doesn't necessarily mean the biggest value is the best buy, obviously, but it means that you can at least have a look at where you can potentially start, a good starting point. So one of the main things is, we all know of the major bull run. I don't need to go into too much detail there, but at that bull run, you saw a peak, an absolute euphoric peak for all the coins in the market, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the rest of the altcoins in the space. What I tend to try and do is not just rely on price, but a first starting point, like I said, is to have a look at where we're seeing the biggest drops at the moment, according to current price. And CoinGecko gives you a good little tool. So firstly, really easy to find which ones are the highest dropped. There's probably other tools out there. I've just historically used this one. So Neo, for example, we know that's been pegged. If you didn't know, actually no. Let's not talk about if you know the coin. Let's talk about if you don't know the coin. So we're talking here 96.4% from an all-time high. If you could buy a car, a house. I know this is really speculative here, and you're probably gonna. It's not directly correlated, but if you take an asset and you can buy it at 96% discount from its all-time high, would you? That's the question. Well, not just on price, I wouldn't, but I would definitely have a look at it. So as you can see, most of the market is significantly down. Most of the market, 90s, 80% down. So how do you differentiate between which ones to get into? Well, one other thing you can look at is typically you hear about the phrase, the S coins in the market, without swearing. Well, there is a key thing that happens when there is low volume in the market. Even when coins are at the bottom, they should have some volume going through them. I wouldn't say as much as obviously in a historic high, but they should have some quality volume going through. And even in the market lows, you should see some activity going on because that coin may have a network of users. It has exposure to the market beyond just speculation, and so I think they're good places to have a second look. So how do we go about this? Well, let me just bring up. Here we go. Let's do XRP for example. XRP. Everybody knows, or if you don't know, XRP is. Let's have a look how far down it is actually first. Sorry about this jumping around everywhere, but let's get the mindset right. 91.2% down from its all-time high 2 years ago. Almost 2 years. Well, it is almost 2 years ago. And so we take a look at a very simple chart. Everybody can access this. You don't need any special technical skills, which is why I'm going through this method. Coin market cap, XRP, have a look at the daily price, 29 cents. Let's have a look at the chart. Go to your 1 month chart. And what you can see here is over the past month, we've got we've got good levels of volume coming through the coin. We've got an increase in volume and an increase in price against BTC. And I think that the good thing to look at here is for volume. And that's why I'm looking at this bottom chart here. If you don't know what I'm talking about, can you see this grey bar where my pointer's going across? It looks like a smaller bar chart, not the lines that are going across, but the smaller bar chart at the bottom. We can see consistent volume, and we can see a current increase or spike in volume. That's a good indicator that there's activity going on. People are engaging with it, potentially, particularly with XRP, banks may be using it. And so it's a good peg to have a look at what's going on here. So we're talking that a coin is currently over the last month got some good volume against an all-time record at high. Like we said before, it's extremely low. We're looking at a 90% drop, which is all the way up here. So we know we're buying very low. I don't think, look, it hasn't ever really been much lower in the past, for quite some time. So we're looking at an opportunity here. We're not going into the fundamentals of the coin. We can always go and explore those after. But what we're trying to do is give ourselves an idea of how to and what to look for. Another coin which we've identified in a similar space, and because there's some fundamental news going on, that's fine. But we're looking longer than just the past week or two. We're looking for volume over a period of time. So we're looking for a month's worth of activity. And this chart probably shows it a bit better than XRP does. We've got, can you see the grey bar chart at the bottom? We've got heightened volume across this particular coin. BNB has got loads of utility. Again, I'm not going to go to the use case or fundamentals of the coin, but what I am talking about is quick ways to identify what can I look into further. And firstly, let's have a look at the price. Where's BNB dropped from? Let's have a look. 53%. So it's dropped 50% from its all-time high. It's not a 90% dropper because it recently looks like it's it recently looks like it's taken a bit of a surge, which is fine. But from an all-time high, you're getting this at 50% reduction. So we all know that the industry is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. You wouldn't be in the space if you didn't have that belief in Bitcoin or cryptocurrency as a whole. One of the major players in the industry we're looking at here, we're looking at a top 10 coin, 7. We looked at Ripple previously, 3. These two coins are well known in the space for all you newcomers to the space, and there is indication that there is positive price movement. So without having any real technical analysis skills, by just looking at price and a bit of volume analysis, you can see that there is positive movement in the space. And while we're looking at these two coins, we could also consider, well, okay, Binance is 50% off its all-time high. An all-time high doesn't mean it's never going to break that. So you're getting it at discount. XRP is 90% plus down from its all-time high. Now, being a top 10 coin in both of these situations, and having that the market isn't currently in a huge bull run, it has had some bullish tendencies as of late. do you think it could be a good time to add some of these high potential coins to your portfolio while they're either at 50%, 90% discount from their all time highs? Yeah, you could wildly speculate if you wish, but you'd probably want to go into more detail than just price and volume analysis. You want to look at the coin, look at the activity, look at how many, the daily volume on this coin is pretty good. The daily volume on XRP is very good. And you know that there's consistent activity. So that could be an approach. This is not financial advice. It's just a starting point for you guys to consider diversifying or even adding to what you're already holding. So the first bit of news I want to cover is one of Tesla's competitors is now accepting Bitcoin for its exotic luxury car. Now, it's nice if you guys, like I said, own a Tesla, but their main competitors looks like are accepting Bitcoin. Now, this isn't going to create massive swings in the market. It's not going to be, a massive bit of traction for Bitcoin. But what it does show is that top retail vendors are offering cryptos, namely Bitcoin, as an alternative for payment. I think this is just a positive step, and I just wanted to mention it because, the more businesses out there that accept Bitcoin, the more adoption is going to be created. And I just like that little story there. So, getting into something a little bit more specific about cryptos and how it can be moving forward from a global perspective, Central Bank of Canada considering launch of its own digital currency to enforce KYC and monetary controls. Now, I like this and I don't like this. The way that Canada is considering the launch of its own currency, digital currency, is absolutely fine. Countries are going to eventually be digitalizing their native fiat currency. And I understand they will need to do it to keep up with technology, keep up with advancements, and keep up with the way the world is actually going. Yes, there is digital currency at the moment, but it's a tokenized currency based on a blockchain, which is different. Now, there are many areas of the world that have been reported that want to control currency better. So get rid of cash, everything being digitized so they can track every single transaction, tax accordingly, see where people are spending, have more oversight over their nation's macroeconomics. And I think that it's great. It's a great solution for ease of access of money, but monetary controls worries me a little bit, I suppose. But it's a good read, nice little quick read, nothing too heavy, but I think it shows that not only cryptocurrency enthusiasts are passionate about cryptos, but also central banks are looking into things now. I suppose there's been some big news this week. Binance Q3 profits surge after successful ninth coin burn. Now, look, it's not just down to this bit of news is not, I don't think, a shock to anyone. Binance are creating massive impacts in the market from what can I say, from developing new products in America to offering lending, staking. They're also opening their own futures contracts. I think it's open and ready to be used. I think there is, there's massive potential with this company. And to be honest, the way that CZ, I say owner or founder, is approaching business is very, very impressive. There's developments all the time. Yes, they've got absolute masses of funds to be able to do this, but it's nice to see development being led by a company that looks like it's trying to do things absolutely spot on across the world. Great company. I've obviously been using Binance to trade on for such a long time. Everything they've done is being transparent. Yes, there are going to be problems with centralized exchanges in the future, but that's in the future. Right now, I think they're doing really good things. Nasdaq. Everybody's in the trading and investment space knows what Nasdaq is, but the bit of news that came out of there this week or yesterday even is that they're going to be doing an index of crypto's top 100 coins alongside the traditional market. Now, I think that's perfect. It shows that there is now real institutional need, and also for retail traders who view all these sorts of indexes and want to keep an eye on what's going on with the crypto space. Having access to this index will give you a brief insight on what's going on. And I think it's going to be really helpful for Wall Street traders and anybody else in the space. I think the last comment here says the listing is another sign of crypto's march towards mainstream. 100% agree, and can only see this as a positive. The final thing today, before I close off the video, is Satoshi enters the Oxford English Dictionary. This has been tweeted loads. You may already know this, but I couldn't do a video without mentioning the fact that this is something really positive. Take a quick read if you don't know what that means, but it is, the adoption is going to start soon. Everything is moving in the right direction. Have a great week, everybody. Speak to you next week. Bye.